Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It's been a really trending market. So many pips were flying through on the markets. I hope you were able to catch some of the moves. Most of the setups we discussed here during the webinar, I even gave you some that I said were almost guaranteed you will see as we go on with the market analysis. So today we're just going to go straight into it. But before we start, I just want to mention the 5 things that are important before you move on to your favorite pairs. You can move on to your favorite pairs when you go on to the description of the videos. So if you go to the description of the videos, this is how you can go to your favorite pairs. So you don't necessarily have to watch the whole video or toggle through to look for your specific pairs. So all the pairs are timestamps. Everything that we're going to go through here today is going to be timestamped, so you can just go straight to your favorite pairs. All right. My contact details are on the description of the videos, as well as the website link and our Facebook page. So look out in the next day or two for our all new Facebook page, where you can get a lot of information, and we'll update other social media platforms. So for the five things that I want to mention before we get started, our course is starting tomorrow. That is the 8th June course. We will be starting tomorrow. The course runs from 1800 GMT until 2100. Okay, so that is Mondays to Thursday, Mondays to Fridays for 2 weeks. It's a 10-day course, so Monday to Friday for 2 weeks we run the course. So this course is available on our website. You can purchase the course on the website, and it's available immediately when you make a purchase on the website. So the reason for the main idea for the live course is so that we can interact and you can get to ask questions. If you have any Q&As, we address it during the live webinar, because sometimes just watching the recording, we may skip through important content. So it actually really helps to have a live course. That's the reason why we do the live course. So the 10% discount that has been running for the last month will be ending on the start of the course, that is tomorrow. So that's the last day for the course discount. The stock and the RSI seminar, we've got a special indicator, a proprietary indicator that is available when you take our premium plan 2. Just talking quickly about the premium plan 2, you can find it on the website. Just go to premium plan 2, you'll see what premium plan 2 entails. So when you purchase the premium plan 2, if you're not interested in the full course, you get the special indicator that we use to pinpoint entries, identify stop areas, and take profit areas. You will see when we start just how accurate this has been in the week. You'll just do the count. You will need a calculator to calculate all the pips, because it has just been an amazing week, and this indicator is just amazing. It is the closest thing to a holy grail, but as we all know, there's no such thing in the market. There's no such thing as a holy grail. That's why we still need to use proper risk management. So if you are on a subscription plan and you wish to upgrade to the full course, you can always do that, provided your subscription is still in play. Okay, and the last thing is that for South Africans, the price for the course is high due to the US dollar ZAR exchange exchange rate. So make an inquiry for the special price for South Africans. That's the advantage you have for being a South African. All right, so we can now get right into it. Let's start with trade recaps. Please note that all the pairs that I'm going to cover during trade recaps, I'm not going to repeat them during market analysis. So if I cover oil now, we're not going to look at it in market analysis. I will show you how we traded it, and what we think the next direction is for that specific pair. So we're going to run through it. So we start with all the pairs that we've been trading in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Then we'll do a full summary of those. So it's been an amazing week. So we started with oil. Oil has rallied over 1,100 pips since we took the trade here at the bottom. So this trade we've been sharing way before it started at 30. This is where we caught the move. It doesn't matter that we missed this move here. We were not convinced that that was the reversal yet, but who cares? If you're gonna get 1,100 pip move on oil, this is how the 1,100 point move on oil has played out, and it has just moved textbook style, and we have now reached target. We've just missed it by a few points there, and still looks like it's still going to continue higher and even break above our target. This was a textbook setup, painless to say the least. What you will notice about our entries is that they are what I like to call painless. Most of the time when we take these trades, they hardly even move into the stop loss area because the indicator tells us when it is confirmed, and when it confirms, it just goes most of the time. All right, so the next one, and another amazing trade, was New Zealand Chief. So if you see here, this is a forecast. This is not a trade. We're showing that we're expecting the direction for US dollar Chief to make a move to the upside. So we do not trade this first move. So you will see where we actually took the trade, because there's a difference between forecasting, which is the easy part, and 90% of the traders, obviously the statistics that I'm saying is not backed by anything, but most of the traders are able to forecast the market. What is difficult for most of the traders is this, to pinpoint where to enter. How many times have you entered? Some are trading breakouts of flags. You enter the breakout of a flag and it goes back into the flag. How do you know when it is actually ready to move like it did in this case on New Zealand Chief? Look at this, okay? So this is New Zealand Chief. We took it at 59. You can see that it has already moved over 330 pips, easy pip in just a couple of days, right? So that was a US dollar Chief. It was actually two trades here. The first trade setup, let me just go back to where we were. The first trade setup was when we were here, and the next one was when this one made a move here. So this was the first entry. This was the second entry. This is actually the second trade. What you saw here was the first one that we took here, and it just took off like that. 330 pips, New Zealand Chief. Silver. So silver, we took it at 1554. 55 when it broke out of this flag here. The indicator confirmed that it was ready to go. This is how silver played out. It is pulling back, and during the week we're actually expecting continuation higher on silver. So this is where you can see, as I was mentioning, when the indicator confirms that it's ready to go, it just takes off like that. We've been looking at this correction to pull back, and in the last week we made a move to the upside, but we've also made a pullback here. I was actually expecting continuation to the upside here, but that continuation to the upside to complete this move was not confirmed. So we're actually going to exit the silver trade and look for a new entry. Amazing, amazing trade, over 250 points. We were on 330 points on silver before the pullback. Right, pound yen. Now this one was an amazing trade, right? So a pound, we're actually looking for this to make one more move to the downside if this did not play out. But when the indicator confirms, as you can see, pinpointed entry, we identify exactly where we're taking the trade. This is not just a matter of a before and after chart. You must identify exactly where you take the trade and where to invalidate. This is a technical area for entry. So this is pound yen, right? So pound yen, as you can see, over 715 pips from entry here. Okay, so this was 715 pips on pound, and we're still holding. We're gonna have a pullback. We're gonna have a pullback on pound yen, and we're still expecting continuation to the upside. So that was an amazing trade. The yen pairs have been rallying. It's been amazing, right? So the next one is pound US dollar. As you can see, also pinpointed entry. Look at how this one plays out. Does not even spend any time in the stop loss area. It just takes off like that. And as you can see, as it takes off, we can actually identify the structure that is forming from entry here, just crashes through our target. And if this is going to make any continuation to the upside, we're already out of the trade. Take profit, hit us in spectacular fashion. That's just how much the market was trending in the week. Pound US dollar, so what do I expect with pound US dollar? We're simply expecting that it's going to make a pullback at current levels. We'll look at this one again when we do the market analysis, because there's something that we need to look at there. It's absolutely critical. Now, last week, this trade on pound AUD, I actually mentioned that this trade was almost guaranteed. This was when we were here. This was an almost guaranteed trade that it was going to make a move to the downside. So last week we moved down here, but this is not the trade that we took. The trade that we took is this one here. We took the trade here on pound AUD, and pound AUD has already dropped 424 pips from that entry, as you can see here. So this was last week where we said this is going to make a move to the downside. Look at this one here. Now, this is one of the trades that we're going to be looking at during our live trading session in the next week, because it is still going to continue lower. So for those that did not get the move at the top here, there's still an opportunity for an entry, but it needs to be confirmed by the indicator as well. Now, US dollar CAD is also a very nice trade, also just crashes through target. This was the entry that we got on the 27th of May, took about a week to play out. As you can see, it goes and makes a corrective structure. This was the entry here. It goes and makes a corrective structure here. As you can see, crashes through target. There was a simple 250 pips on US dollar CAD. That's how that one has played out. You can see we actually lucky with this one, because it could have hit our stop, because this was our entry. Our entry was actually here. Makes a pullback, but likely did not hit our stop and just continued lower. That is US dollar CAD. That is how that has played out, just with the blue box off there. So we've reached the target. I've actually exited the trade here. Some members may have held on to this trade because it was showing continuation to the downside as still. This is a Nifty, amazing textbook style as well as made a move. And this, we looked at all these setups during this webinar. If you've been watching, you would have got this setup. So anybody who did not make money this week, really, then there's a serious challenge there. You still need to get help, because this was a simple market. It's a market like this, everybody makes money. This is where people don't make money, because this is not really going anywhere. It's just going sideways. Ranging market, people lose money. Anybody here will get excited and they will make money. It becomes a challenge when it comes to this. Right, so that was the Nifty. Bitcoin, we also had a trade set up for Bitcoin to make a move to around 700. It actually turned at around 10,600, but we'll look at the update on Bitcoin shortly. This is how this one has played out. It made a move here from our entry. It missed the target by about 200 points, but that's fine. We're still looking for Bitcoin to make a slight push to the upside, just like this, and continuation to the downside. That is how Bitcoin has played out, and the rest of the cryptos we're going to look at. US dollar JPY, we were a bit late on this one, but we entered anyway because we could see the strength on the indicator. So as you can see, that was an entry. It was late. It was way after the break, the flag there, but the indicator showed that we're not going to get a pullback, so we're going to get the move to the upside. As you can see, have moved on 100 pips so far. Not a very good entry, but an entry nonetheless. 100 pips is a lot of money. That is US dollar JPY. EUROAUD, this is a new trade setup, has not done anything as yet. It's one of those. We've got some of the high probable trades for next week as well. This trend is still going to continue. The market is still trending. So in the next week, we still have some amazing trades. So this one we've just taken on the 5th of June. That was a Friday. So this one is still gonna go. So we're going to be looking at that one, and some of the amazing trades here on pound AUD and pound CAD for the next week. So this is how EUROAUD has played out. Okay, it's not gone anywhere really. We're still basically at entry. That is EUROAUD. Gold. Now, we've talking about the trades that have worked. Now we need to talk about the failed trades as well, because that is a reality when trading. There's no way that you can get all the trade setups correct. Now this was gold. We were expecting it to confirm here and break to the upside. We didn't get the confirmation, so the trade to the upside was invalidated, so it failed. So this is how gold has played out. Now what are we expecting with gold? I'm going to show you an update with market analysis, what we're actually expecting on gold. So this is actually going to be a sideways structure on gold, and we're going to look for a continuation to the upside. So this trade has actually failed. As you can see, this is the reason why one needs to use proper money management. Another trade that failed was pound CAD. So pound CAD has just just took out our stop. Our stop was a bit too close and still going sideways, but we're still looking for a trade here on pound CAD. So this is how pound CAD has played out. So you do get these failed trades. As you can see, this is still a setup. As much as this one has failed here with our entry, what we're looking for here, this is still a very good setup for the next week. An amazing one. If we do get something like this, we'll be looking for this. So you don't just go and sell because it has reached this level. It has to confirm, because otherwise this can actually make a move to the upside. I'm not saying it's going to make a move to the upside. I'm just saying you need to use proper money management, even if you do understand the structure, because the structure needs to be confirmed by the indicator. Okay, so that is a pound CAD. Another one that failed was Audi New Zealand. So Audi New Zealand, this amazingly, what we were looking for here eventually happened, but not here. This trade went and made a new high here. Let's just look at how this one played out, and you'll see that most of the time you will know the direction of the market, and you will not be able to trade it because timing is everything. So this was our setup. We were looking to buy it, to sell it here, to take advantage of this three-wave move. Now look what happens. It makes a push to the upside, and the exact trade that we were looking for here to happen actually happens here. The three waves that we were looking for here, this is actually what I was looking for. So that means we were wrong in that we were forecasting. This is now when you're forecasting with the naked eye, this is not the indicator. We got it wrong because we were forecasting that this is the end of the move. We forecasted that this was the end of the move, but the move still had one more to go, and this is what we're actually looking for. So we now missed this trade here, but we know that the market does not move in a straight line, and it will give us an entry. We will definitely get another entry on this. Right, so that is Audi New Zealand. Okay, so those are the actual trades. So now this, look at how the indices have played out yesterday, not yesterday, Sunday, last Sunday, I detailed how we're expecting the indices to keep pushing higher. So let's run through the indices and how they've played out, and how I've shown the forecast and how they're going to play out. So this was the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We expected it to make a move down and push higher. Look at how amazing this is. It just textbook style goes down and makes a move to the upside. You can count how many points. That is Dow as well. We expected it to make a move to the downside and push higher, and this is how they've played out. These are indices. This is the forecast. These are the forecasts. So we've actually forecasted that it was going to make a move to the downside here. 2 weeks back, I showed you how this is going to break out here and continue higher, and that is exactly what has happened. Okay, we've now reached that target here, and it is still going to continue higher because the indicator is still showing strength. Indices have been very easy in the last couple of weeks. Now the S&P 500 exactly the same, expected a move down and then upside. That is how that has played out. That is the S&P 500. That is how it has played out. We made a move down. 2 weeks back, we said this is going to push higher. Look at how that has happened. Amazing analysis. So when the market is trending, everybody makes money. Everybody makes money. Right, so the last one is EURCHF. EURCHF was a very nice trade because I have been tracking EURCHF for an upside move since we were here. I was looking for this one to complete this second wave here. I was simply looking for this. I was simply looking for this one to be a three-wave structure here and a move to the upside. This is a daily chart on the 1st of May. We were expecting this move to the upside, right? So this is the daily chart. Look at how we focused on the 60-minute chart. We're looking for this one to now turn here, and that is exactly where it turned for the 800 pips. Unfortunately, as much as I was tracking this, I did not get this move. It went too fast. The candle went too fast here, this candle here. But we could see that how this was going to make a move to the upside. So we didn't get this trade here, only got the trade when it was here. Only get the trade here, so we only get the remainder of the move, about 300 pip of the move here on EURCHF. So that is how we forecast, and that is how you trade. So trading execution is critical. Timing the market, that is the entry, stop loss area, and take profit areas, that is absolutely critical when you trade, other than just forecasting. Anybody can forecast, but it's very challenging to actually time the market. All right, so those are trade forecasts. Let's now go into the rest of the markets. Let's go through into the rest of the market. We'll start with the cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are currently just going sideways. Please make note, on Tuesday, I am going to have a crypto corner webinar where we're going to look at only the cryptocurrencies. We're going to do the cryptocurrencies on Wednesday, 10 South African time, that is 8 a.m. GMT on Wednesday. I'll send out a link. You can check out the link on the comment section on the YouTube videos, also on my Facebook page, and I'll also post it on Telegram. For those that are in the Telegram group, there's a Telegram group, but I don't really post anything there except for the links for the website. So that is the Telegram channel there. You can find it also on the video. Right, let's start. Cryptocurrencies, we'll start with Bitcoin. We've already looked at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is just going sideways. Let's make this full screen here and check how this is playing out. Now, what we are expecting here on the cryptocurrencies is that this is just going to be a sideways structure. So this can still do this and make a move to the downside. We didn't quite reach our target, but overall, the structure that we're looking for is this one here. Let's show you the structure. I want to exit this so I can remove the letters labeling and just look at the structure. Let's just look at the structure because structure is more important than labeling. So the possible structure here is that we've had an impulse after this big move to the upside. Okay, so we've got an impulsive move down and looks like we've made a three-wave structure. This is why we were focusing that Bitcoin was going to make a move, a break here and come back. So this was my forecast here on Bitcoin and the reason why we got the trade to the upside. I'm actually looking for this one here, for this on Bitcoin, right? So all that depends on how this plays out here. Are we going to get that? Is going to give us another trade for downside? That we need to wait for confirmation. As it is now, we're still just going sideways on Bitcoin, and it is the case for the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Zcash is similar as well. So Zcash is also just going sideways, three-wave down here, three waves up here. We could be just doing this, just going sideways before any move to the upside. So Zcash has already broken out of this structure. So correcting here makes this opens up new highs on Zcash. Okay, so we've already have that. We already have this. So Zcash could be doing this move, but we need to wait for this confirmation here to confirm that that move to the upside is gonna continue. So you see here, you've got 1, 2, 3 waves here, expanding flat, and you're looking for Zcash to continue higher. Right, Ethereum, let me go to, this is actually the 4 hours. So Ethereum, we focused it. Let me go to the website and just show you how we focused it, what the focus was on the cryptocurrencies. This is how the website works. Just have a look at how the website works. So these are some of the things that you get on the website. You get all wave counts for 4 time frames. That is a weekly, daily, 4 hour on the 1 hour. So for Bitcoin, this was our forecast. We had the trade set up on this one. It was not just a forecast on this one. So that's why we made a move here to around 10,600 and reversed from that level. Now, as you can see, the structure is still this ABC, and we're looking for this one to make the last move here. So that move could have been a corrective structure like this on Bitcoin, right? That is Bitcoin, and looking at Ethereum, as you can see, Ethereum, we expected it to just push higher and reverse. It has pushed up a little bit higher than this, and it has made a move to the downside here. The structure we're looking for is simply this. As you can see, follow the red, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for Ethereum to make a move down to at least to retest this low here. So we need to wait for this confirmation here on Ethereum. We need to wait for this confirmation. Are we going to make a move to the downside? It does not look likely here. It does not look likely. It looks like we're just going sideways so far. But if it does this, and after having broken the top here, like ZCASH has done, that means Ethereum is going to push higher, and that will pull the rest of the cryptocurrencies up as well. So that is how Ether has played out. Litecoin. Now, Litecoin, let's have a look at Litecoin, and this is how it was on the forecast. So Litecoin, we're expecting this one to make 1, 2, 3 waves. Let's see how that one has played out. It played out exactly how we expected it to play out. That is a break above the structure here, makes a move to the upside, we're expecting a reversal. So we're still looking for this move now. We've got the move to the upside, we're looking for a move to the downside, but that move to the downside will need to be confirmed. It looks like we're making a corrective structure here, but that corrective structure can overall be a continuation pattern. Now let's have a look at this without the labeling, and we just look at the structure alone. We've got a pulsing move to the downside. This has a potential to be sideways in total. So we're going to have a move down here. Now this is how why I'm saying it could be sideways, and then we have a continuation to the upside. This one didn't quite break this high here, like Bitcoin and Ether. But if it starts correcting here, we're going to make a move to the downside. So what we're going to have here, we're going to need to look at this structure. We need to look at this structure. This structure will result in this one making a move to the upside. So if it makes this pulsing move and this becomes all the corrective structure here like this, that means this is a flag and this is going to make a move to the downside. So we're waiting for a confirmation. Now, even if we do make a move to the downside, we are simply looking for this structure and not necessarily a reversal, because we are still on the trend to the upside on the cryptocurrencies. Ripple. Let's look at Ripple on the side. So Ripple, this on the 1 hour, like the rest of the cryptocurrencies, the structures were simple. Indicators confirming that they're all going to make a move to the upside. We're looking for Ripple to get to that level, but it has made a move like this. Let's have a look at how Ripple has played out there. Now that is exactly how it has played out. As you can see, we were here looking for Ripple to make a move to the upside here, to even take the top. We didn't take the top, just like Bitcoin. We are now down here. Are we going to make this corrective structure like this and continue to the upside? Okay, so that is the confirmation we're waiting for. We're waiting to see how this structure is going to build here on Ripple. Okay, so that's all on the cryptos. So on Tuesday, we're going to do more. I'm going to do the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap and many, many more. There are over 1,600 cryptocurrencies in the market. We're going to look at maybe the 10 most important ones, obviously looking at market cap. Right, so that's how the cryptocurrencies have played out. Now let's look at the indices. Now the indices, we've already gone through this. All you're looking for is still continuation to the upside. Indicators showing, all indications are still showing strength, but at some point we're going to have a corrective structure. We are going towards the all-time highs here on the S&P 500. This is still continuing to the upside. This is not ready to make a move to the to make a reversal or a pullback. So every time you get a corrective structure, as I've been showing, corrective structures like this is an opportunity to buy. These corrective structures, looks like it's going to form another one. It's an opportunity to buy. So just be careful when you get to this level. So whether it's going to break out or not, typically you'll find that we get a corrective structure here. It spends some time here before it breaks to the upside. But for now, all indices, you're just looking for continuation to the upside, same as the Dow Jones Industrial, and the average as well is the same. So you're just looking for this to go sideways. We're still continuing higher here. You may not even get the corrective structure. This may just continue with the move. So the pullback is not ready yet. So that is how the indices are playing out. You may get a bit of a push to the upside before you get any pullback on the indices. Still showing strength, and we may get just a move to the upside and start pulling back. Now we are going to get a pullback and not a reversal. Okay, we're going to update the structure there. So the transportation is exactly the same as the industrial, pushing higher as well. As you can see, that's what we have here on the Dow Transportation, still continuing to the upside, strength to the upside. Every time you get a small pullback, we're going to all-time highs here on the transportation and basically most of the indices. The Nasdaq, looking at the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq is exactly the same. So this one here, forecasted this one when we were here, that we're going to get a pullback and a move to the upside. We are simply looking at for this to be a three-wave structure. Now, we could even be wrong with this labeling here. Does not look like a three-wave structure. It looks pretty much impulsive now. But when you are wrong, the indicator shows you that you're wrong. What does the indicator do? It eliminates an alternative count. You And we will normally have more than maybe 1 or 2 counts with the Elliott Wave theory, but the other one will be eliminated because the indicator will confirm one structure. So here we're looking for this one to be 5 years. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and looking for this one to have been the whole corrective structure, and we're looking for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like we've gone up in 5 waves in total. This is the 5th wave that we're currently in, and if this is the 5th wave coming up to the all-time highs here, then we'll be looking for this one to start putting back here, when it comes back to the 38%, and then we go to all-time highs on the indices. There's no sign of reversal, even if we're coming to the all-time highs here. It's going to be interesting. Some of the indices have already broken the all-time highs here. Like this one is right at the all-time highs, just a break. You can really see here, it's actually right at that specific level. Right? It's just touched the all-time highs. This is the Nasdaq there. Right, so we'll be looking for continuation to the upside, but this is a risky area to be to continue to buy, because at this point we are going to get a pullback, and the indicators are also at the extremes. That is the DAX, that is the Nasdaq, the UK 100. UK 100, last week we had it here. Was it last week or the week before? We had it doing this candle that looked like it was going to reverse, and I mentioned that that's what they do on Sundays. At the end of the market, you will think that this is actually reversing it, but structure does not change. We've forecasted this one to come down here and keep pushing higher, so that is we're still expecting the same. We're still expecting the same. We're simply looking for this to be a 3-wave structure. At some point, yes, we're going to get a pullback, but as it is now, there's still a lot of strength to the upside. So you can keep buying the pullbacks on the 1 hour, even is still accurate, still okay to buy. That is UK 100, the DAX. DAX, I've shown you this one during trade setups. Has reached the target that we're looking for to happen here. So it can still just continue here without giving you a pullback in the next week, but eventually we need to see a pullback here, something similar to this. Okay, before continuation to the upside. This one has not reached the all-time highs, but it is going towards there. That is the DAX. Nikkei, we actually changed the view on the Nikkei because we're looking at this one to be going up in 3 waves, like 1, 2, and expecting this one to be a diagonal. As you can see that structure, we changed that view when we saw the impulsive move, the impulsive nature. When this one was around here, it was still showing upside and invalidating the diagonal. We're expecting this one to be a diagonal, like a 1, 2, 3, and then a pullback before continuation to the upside. We changed the view when we saw that it was actually making a 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 internally. So that is how the Nikkei has played out. We're still looking for strength. Why are we still looking for strength? Let me just show you the structure now. Switch off the labeling there. What we have on the Nikkei is 1, 2. It looks like we've got a nest. You also have an internal structure here. 1, 2, and you got another one here. You've got 3, a nest of 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means this is still going to continue higher. So you're still going to have a 4 and a 5 in the purple degree. You're still going to have a 4 and a 5 in the yellow degree. That is how the structure is going to play out. So if you want to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and you can also do the same lower degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and the green degree lower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just note that each color degree lower is a degree lower than the other one, even if I'm using the same letters as labeling there. So pullback we're expecting is wave 4 in purple. We're still going to push up higher. We're going to get another pullback, a deeper one than this one, and we're going to continue higher. And this is how we're going to break the all-time highs. So even if we do break the all-time highs, we'll expect a pullback, and that pullback could possibly just be retesting the breakout. That is the Nikkei and Nifty. I showed you this a trade on the Nifty for upside. We looked at this one here during the trade setups. Still pushing higher. Expect continuation to the upside on the Nifty. Sun Pharmaceutical, last week, 2 weeks back, I gave you the trade setup on the Sun Pharmaceutical for the Indian traders. This is the stock in the NSE, in the Indian stock exchange. So we have broken out here from this level. We are currently at this level. If this corrects at current levels, we're looking at new highs here, new recent highs on Sun Pharma stock from India. I hope you enjoyed that trade and made some money out of it. All right, now let's go into the major pairs. We'll go through the major pairs, starting with the DXY. Now the DXY, let's look at the daily on the DXY. Now the DXY structure that we're looking for, we've got an impulsive move here. We've come down in 3 waves. We've come down in 3 waves. This is the end of the move. So the DXY can actually pull back here and continue to come and retest this low here. We can get a pullback here. That will be a wave 4 of this move. I'll show you what I mean by that when we go to the 4 hour. And we'll be looking for this one to possibly bounce up here and give us this structure. There's a possibility for us to get the structure. But as it is, the next immediate move, we're still looking for continuation to the downside on the DXY if it gives us that continuation. But it can actually reverse at current levels. So it's just a question of whether we're going to get a continuation pattern here that is going to take us here before we get a bounce. So let's look at this on the 4 hour. Are we getting a reversal or continuation to the a reversal to the upside, or continuation to the downside? As it is now, it is still continuation to the downside. Okay, so let's look at the structure and the labeling here on this one. We're looking for a wave 3, for a wave 4 in blue. So we're looking for it here, did not happen there. So we're still expecting that wave 4 should happen to get us down here into the blue box and make a move to the upside. So we can even reverse around this level. Let me just mark this up here and switch off the labeling. Now this is the DXY, and we'll be looking for the DXY to at least get a pullback here in 3 waves and continue lower here. So we'll be looking for this one. Let me show you the structure. Simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While we're looking for that, that is the corrective structure here. We've got this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this one may be a bit shorter, but according to the rules and guidelines, this is a decent corrective structure. So this is a pulsing move, this is a whole corrective move, and a move to the upside. So we're still looking for this one to come down here. We're still looking for this one to come down here on the DXY. Okay. Right, that is the DXY. The euro, obviously just the inverse of what the DXY is doing. Let's look at it on the daily, because we've got an interesting structure. So the euro has already reached its blue box, but the DXY has not, as far as this structure is concerned. Let me make this one full screen here. So as far as the DXY is concerned, the euro has already reached its blue box on this structure, 1, 2, 3. But does that mean reversal? We need to wait for that confirmation, or we're going to get one more up here to get to the previous high here, and eventually making a similar structure to the DXY, which is going to be a pulsing move and a 3-wave move. And then we're going to start seeing a reaction lower at that level. So that is the expectation for this to continue higher, but we need to get a pullback. Let's look at the 4 hour on the euro. Euro 4 hour. So euro 4 hour, this candle does not mean anything. This reversal candle does not mean that the euro has reversed. As you can see, that same thing has happened there. So we wait to see for that for confirmation. For all we know that this can actually do a structure like this and give us one more up, as we're expecting one more up on the DXY to give us this structure like that. And we'll be looking for this structure here. This one being the total corrective structure, and we look for move to the downside. So that's how we're looking at the DXY and the euro. Pound US dollar, we already looked at this one during trade setups. Now pound US dollar is at a critical area. It's broken out of here, exposing new highs. Any corrective structure here, even if we do pull back here, pound US dollar will push higher, and that is the structure we've been expecting since it made this 1,000 pips here. So when this was correcting here, we were looking for this move to the upside, but only managed to catch the move here on pound, as you've seen during trade setups. Now exit the trades. We are at critical levels. Wait for a new entry. When it pulls back, that's what we're going to be looking for here on pound US dollar. US dollar chief has made some pullback, but does this mean reversal? This impulse looks very good with the naked eye, but it does not look, it is not supported by the indicator. It looks like we're still going to have one more down here on the US dollar chief. Now eventually we'll be making this structure on the US dollar chief. We're going to be looking for this one to possibly make one more down. Indicator is not showing upside as yet, so we could be having one, 2, This is where we're looking for this one to still come down here. 1, 2, 3. That's the structure we're looking for, and this one being a 1 overall corrective structure here. When we get to the top here, we look for downside, but we need to come down first, just like we're expecting with the DXY. So this structure looks clear and very likely to happen, but this is not a trade setup. This is a forecast. So we're forecasting that this one will continue lower here. As much as we've got an impulse here, indicators showing us this should continue lower. So we'll be looking for this one to bounce up here, looking for this trade to the upside, and looking for this trade to the downside. Okay, we should be able to catch those moves. US dollar CAD already showed this one during trade setups. Okay, if you look at the US dollar CAD structure, it's not convincing for reversal at current levels. As much as we're seeing this one to be a three-wave structure, very clear structure that we have here on US dollar CAD. We've got a three-way move down, we've got a three-way move up. This is another three-way move to the downside. I just don't want to put this one here, otherwise the structure looks awkward. But what we are eventually looking for is this. 3 waves down, another 3 waves back, and this is making a 3 waves down. That is a WXY structure and has reached the blue box. As you had seen, we focused it. This was a trade setup for 250 pips. Now, are we going to see a reversal there? There is some divergence on US dollar CAD, but it does not mean anything until confirmation. Let's look at that divergence on the 4-hour. If you look at this divergence has not been confirmed. We're seeing the RSI starting to make a new high here. So that is, there looks to be some divergence. So we need to see if we're going to start making a reversal here to the top of this channel. To the top of the channel. Okay, so we're out of the trade here for a sell, so we don't worry about that for now. We wait for a new confirmation. Audi US dollar. Audi has been trending for the past 2 months. Australian dollar has been trading for the past 2 months. So here we're expecting the last push to the upside and a pullback. This move was pretty impulsive. It was a WXYXZ structure. If you follow the green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. WXYXZ. Now we're expecting a pullback. We should see divergence and a pullback here on Audi US dollar. Expecting the same structure on New Zealand US dollar. Bit of a pullback, right? So the New Zealand US dollar has actually reached the target that we were looking for here. Simple three-wave structure, WXY in green. Now we should see a pullback. We should see a pullback. They don't just push it higher like this to just come and drop it. So typically you'll find that this spends a bit of time here, a lot of time here around this level, deciding whether it's going to make a move to the upside or down. But as it is now, we've got a three-wave structure. We need to get a pullback, whether it's a reversal, but we need to get a reaction lower some part. Right, so that is a New Zealand US dollar ZAR. This one tracks, it also tracks oil. So when oil is strong, a US dollar ZAR goes down, right? So we've got this structure. Are we going to get a move to the downside here? It looks like we're still going to have continuation to the downside. We're going to have a pullback and a move to the downside, but that may just be one more down before we get a pullback. Okay, so that is US dollar ZAR. No trade there on US dollar ZAR. Right, pound US dollar. Pound US dollar, we already looked at this one. Just like pound USD, this one was the entry here, has gone up 715 pips. Now this one has already broken this level. Pound US dollar is just here around this level. So if this one has done this, it looks like a pound yen may just it looks like pound US dollar may also just follow suit. Remember, the analysis on pound US dollar that we've just done is that we expecting that it may correct at current levels and push higher. We just need to get confirmation that that's the trade that we're going to get. Now, this one was a very nice trade, really easy. And as it goes, you can actually see the structure which is forming. You can see the impulsive move. Now we're looking for a pullback and continuation to the upside. That is pound yen. US dollar yen, also discussed during trade setups. Actually mentioned last week that US dollar yen was ready. Okay, it was actually ready to go. Last week, if you watched the webinar, I showed that US dollar yen is going to push higher, just makes a corrective structure and pushes higher. Like I said, we were a bit late here after the move. Okay, so we got our entry there. Even if it was late, we've already moved 100 pips there, 111 pips to be exact, and we're looking for continuation to the upside. Okay, so that is US dollar yen, euro yen. Now euro yen structure changes as we're expecting forecasted only a move here in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was only expecting it to do this before we get a pullback, but it's just gone all the way up. Now, if you want to see why that is happening, structure is very simple on euro yen. This is the structure that I was looking for. If you look at a couple of video backs, we showed that this was actually at equal legs. Both euro yen and EUROCHF showed us equal legs there, showing us that we got a move to the upside here, 3 waves there, and we were looking for this one to push down here. But I was only expecting this to be a flat correction, a 3-3-5 flat correction. As you can see, we've got a 5-wave structure. We have reached that level. Is that still a flat correction? That will determine if we start getting signs of downside here. Now, if the flat correction does not play out, let me show here. If it doesn't play out, then that's going to invalidate the structure, and we're going to have to update the whole structure on euro yen. So for now, we're expecting euro to at least just give us a pullback. Okay, you just need to get a pullback from current levels. So this pullback is going to invalidate the flat correction, and we will be playing the bigger structure. We'll be playing the bigger structure. Okay, if we invalidate the flat, then that means the move here has ended, and we're going to start playing the bigger structure. Now, if you missed all of this, which was over 700 pips from the bottom here, then and you get this, then why would you worry about missing the 700 pips when you can get the rest here, almost 1,000 pips that is guaranteed that you can enter conservatively? So that is how we look at the market. So I've only traded this one up to this level, expecting it to pull back. We never got the pullback, and I didn't trade the rest of the move on EUROCHF. So now this is what we're going to be expecting. If we do complete this one here, we should come back down to retest the low here. Then that bigger structure can play out. But we still want the bigger structure to play out regardless. It's just a question of whether it's going to play out from here or it's going to drop one more first. Very clear how we look at the markets. Chief yen the same. As you can see here, we've made a 3-wave structure here. I was expecting that also. I was also expecting that we're just going to have a pullback here and continuation to the downside. But now we can see that the structure that is forming here is 3 waves down here. We've got a 3-wave move to the upside, a pullback. We are now at this level. We should see Chief yen pulling back and breaking higher. Now, if you get an entry here on Chief yen, it will be another good trade to the upside. CAD yen has also invalidated the structure that I was looking for. I was looking for CAD yen to do this, to make a 3-wave move here. That's why I kept expecting and showing analysis that I'm expecting it to come and break this top here, but I was looking for it to break the top and continue lower. But as you can see, that corrective structure has been invalidated, and CAD yen actually looks like it's going for a wave 3, and that means that the move to the downside has now ended. We're starting a move to the upside in this fashion. So we've got a corrective structure. We're going for a wave 3 here. Now you will only be able to trade this when you get a pullback in 4. And that pullback, if it's happening here, the recent high, we should break even higher. Okay, so the trends are clear. So then for the next couple of weeks, months, we should be able to make some really good money on these setups. AUD yen on the daily 3-wave structure, very impulsive structure. Even if we do get a pullback, that is not a reversal. We're still going to get a continuation to the upside on EURAUD. Let me go down to the 4-hour. Okay, so on the 4-hour, we're still looking for this one. We actually just want a pullback here. We just want a pullback on the 4-hour. This one should be giving us some divergence. Let's have a look. There's divergence which is not confirmed as yet on the RSI. So we made the new high here RSI has not necessarily made a new low, because this can still make a new high, can still follow price. Now, if this is following price, that means there's no divergence. The RSI and the price are doing exactly the same thing. So we wait for that pullback. On Audi New Zealand, it's the same on Euro, on New Zealand yen as well. That was not, I meant Audi yen. So New Zealand yen, just like New Zealand US dollar, we've made three-wave moves. But like US dollar, like CAD yen, this one could be going for a wave 3 here. This move is too impulsive. It looks like a wave 3. So we could be getting this, and you'll get another wave 4. That wave 4 should come in a sharp move. If you know the guideline of alternation, you will understand why we'll expect this wave 4 to be a sharp correction, unlike the sideways one, so before we make a move to the upside. So we should get a sharp move here like this, most likely a zigzag, before we continue to the upside. Gold, I showed this one, was a failed setup that we had in the week. Now, gold is simple. We're looking for this one as an impulse now. We're looking for this one as a corrective structure. So the upside bias has not changed on gold. We're just looking for this one to now be a diagonal. So there's a possibility that this one makes a 5-wave structure here. This one is an impulse. This one is a correction. So you could be getting this one as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within the diagonal here. And if that is the case, then we've got gold doing this. Follow the yellow, 1, 2, 3. So that is an A, B, C structure. It can be an expanding flat, can break lower here. If it breaks lower here, we'll expect it to continue to the upside. And this is the structure that we're looking at on gold. So initially, the reason why this trade failed and did not go is because we were focusing here that this is all the corrective structure, all the correction on the green degree, and expecting it to go from there. But it looks like this correction is doing this. This is your B, this is your C with a diagonal. Simple like that, and that is how you adjust and you start looking for new entries. But this is still showing continuation to the downside, does not quite show that it's going to reverse yet. And in any case, we're looking for a diagonal structure here before we move to the upside. Silver has also made a 3-wave pullback. We're also expecting this one to continue higher, but we've made this 3-wave pullback, and we'll be expecting this one to at least make a shallow pullback. It could even do this structure, and that means this wave 5 may be in play, and we won't get a move to the upside on silver, but we wait and see. Brent Crude, we already looked at Brent Crude. It's now just missing target. We're getting to wave 5. We will expect a deeper pullback now on Brent Crude. But there's still signs of upside here, still gonna push a little bit higher, but you don't go and buy at these extremes. That's too expensive to buy Brent Crude at that level. Let's look at the pound pairs. Looking at the pound pairs, pound chief should follow pound US dollar and the rest of the pound pairs, not the rest of the pound pairs, because as you've seen, interestingly, pound Audi, pound New Zealand are looking downside, but pound US dollar, pound chief are looking upside. Now, we have just broken out of the structure, and this looks like 5-wave move here. We're looking at it as a corrective structure, but then after this, you can see that it made a 5-wave impulse. Now, with this, it can make a pullback and push higher, especially making a pullback at this level. That means we could have one up here, a corrective structure here, and we have a move to the upside. And we get a move to the upside. This was over 1,000 or just about 1,000 pips. So we could be getting the same here if we keep getting the same pullbacks for upside. So very easy to follow. Pound Audi, this is the one that I said is a guaranteed trade. If you look at my video last week, I said this is almost guaranteed that it will drop. Okay, it drops. This was the trade. We got the trade here on pound Audi. That's the entry, exactly where we said it's going to drop on Sunday. Went and dropped. Now we are here, expect continuation to the downside. You don't just go and sell because there's a correction. You need to get a confirmation. Clear confirmation will be adding to the positions here because that is still going to go. Okay, that is a pound Audi, pound New Zealand. Now pound New Zealand, we were looking at this one during our live session, but it was not giving us a clear entry point as far as the risk to reward ratio is concerned. Our stop loss was too wide, so that's why it was easier to just take pound Audi. We're still going to expect continuation to the downside on pound New Zealand. Pound CAD, this is the one that took us out, but if you look at this, there's still very good chance that this is going to continue lower, right? So this can still push up higher here, get this three-wave structure here. When this is ready, we'll be looking for a trade to the downside. So the trade that we're expecting here will still happen, may still happen when we get to this level, and we'll look for that confirmation. That is pound CAD, euro pound has made a move to the upside. We've completed that move. We should be continuing lower now. We should be continuing lower. Head and shoulder trader or pattern traders will tell you that they'll be trading this one when it breaks the neckline. Okay, I don't trade head and shoulders. I look at the waves. This is just interesting to see that this is what they will be seeing, and this is what you will have. So breaking the neckline and making a pullback here, then we'll be looking for that. But we are simply looking for this. We're looking at waves. This is a corrective structure, expanding flat, move down here, and we'll be looking for this one to make a move to the downside, right? So we'll be looking for an entry here, even if we do get a continuation pattern here on the 4-hour and confirmation of a trade to the downside. Before pattern traders look for a break of the neckline, we don't look at those levels. We look at only the wave. So this could even be going around here, and we can take the trade. Okay, so that is a euro pound, a euro Audi. One of the this one we've already taken this trade. Okay, so this one may be trade of the week. We've already taken the trade. We'll be looking for this one to continue lower. We're still looking for continuation to the downside. Watch euro Audi. Very good trade setup for next week. Watch euro CAD. Very good trade setup for next week. If you look for this one here, continuation here, could be looking for euro CAD to continue lower. So the euros are looking very interesting in the next coming week. EUROCHF, already looked at this one during trade setups, will continue higher. We looked at this one during trade setups, pullback, and continuation to the upside for that wave 5. That's the structure on EUROCHF. Euro New Zealand showing downside. It's interesting how EUROCHF is pushing higher and Euro New Zealand is pushing lower. Where's the correlation? And that can be explained simply by understanding correlation strength. Euro New Zealand may be a bit late for this trade, but that is a trade setup for the last bit of wave 5 there. Let's look at the crosses. Audi CAD. Audi CAD is making a pullback in wave 4. We should see it make one more up. It's at extremes now. We should see a deeper pullback before we make a move to the upside. Audi CHF. Audi has been trending. Now we're looking for the last bit of the moves here on Australian dollar pairs. So we'll be looking for a pullback. This pullback may not necessarily be this deep, can be shallow to 38% before continuation to the upside. Audi New Zealand, we looked at this one during trade setup. We had a failed trade setup here. Now this one is now playing out here. So if we get a pullback here, that can still be a nice trade for downside. That is Audi New Zealand, the New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD textbook stuff. We've been looking at simply these 3 waves. I've been showing this for the last couple of weeks. 1, 2, 3. Actually did not trade this one. It was a very nice one to trade to the upside, but we were already on New Zealand CHF. Okay, so we were already on New Zealand CHF. So that was not necessarily, it was not necessary to take both trades because it's exactly the same trade. As you can see here, this was an entry, makes a move to the upside to complete the 3-wave structure here. Right, so now we are now at the bigger corrective structure. 1, 2, 3, the bigger corrective structure here is this one. Let's show it with white. Move down, correction. How are we going to get this one to come down? Now we need to get that confirmation first, but first this one should continue a little bit higher, should push a little bit higher to at least this level before any reaction. They don't just drop it like that. New Zealand CHF trade setup playing out textbook style. 300 pips on this one. Very easy trade. Trade setup here. Trade setup there. 2 trades in one. Risk-free. Easy pips. CAD Chief. Obviously going with oil. CAD Chief, as you can see, the arrow there, I was actually expecting it to drop first before pushing higher, but has now made what looks like a running flat before a push to the upside. That's why we're looking at this one as having completed this structure here. Having completed this as a running flat. Breaks the top, does not break the low. Breaks the top, does not break the low. Running flat, and we're looking simply for this structure. A move up in 3, back, we'll be looking for another move up in 3. Okay, let me show that move. So it's up there. If you just look at the lower degree, very simple structure. One complex correction here. We're looking for the same. 3 waves. As you can see, what we're looking for here. This is a 3 wave. Because of this, we'll be looking for a similar 3 wave structure as we've had here. Pullback will still continue higher on this pair because you're looking for that wide degree, which is a WXY structure. Simple. That's all for this week, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you can get a notification next time I post the trade setup. Don't forget to check out our website. Have a great week. Trade responsibly. Cheers. Bye-bye.